All right then. Numbers 2 and 3, I order you to hold hands.
Number 2! And I have been cursed with the number 3. It's in order!
Hey, stop! I said hold my hand! There was no mention of stroking!
But I don't have a choice. The king ordered me to do it, Miss Claire. We do what we must for hand and country.
I didn't order you to go that far.
I've had enough!
I'm in love with a Villainess episode 3. I am conflicted, okay? I think that unabashedly, I'm going to use that word again very soon, okay? So just beware. I'm going to use it twice this video, at least. Maybe 3 times. But it was unforgiving of the fact that it was about this girl who was completely obsessed with a character. And partially because, partially the reason behind it is she's projecting some kind of thing onto this character, but she was obsessive about a character, and she got, by the graces of God or whatever, she got to reincarnate or travel or isekai, whatever you want to call it, into this world, right? She was able to transport into this world and in real life pursue this character. And through that notion and everything, she has knowledge of the Otome game and all this other stuff. But this show, episode 1 and 2, have been like stomach hurting funny. And episode 3, the reason that I am conflicted is this episode was not funny. The thing that separated this show to me was it didn't dive into any of the specifics. It didn't really dive into the how she got to this world. It didn't really dive into the why she was really obsessed with this character. It didn't really dive into her and her true deep down feelings of pursuing, this character. One of the things that interested me, and I did say this at the end of last episode, is I'm interested to see where this goes. And I do think that, it's either going to go the romance route or the friendship route. And I think the way we get to where the story takes us is not based on our main character, Ray, but it's based on Claire. And if she accepts feelings on a romantic level, or if she rejects them but accepts the friendship level stuff. And I really think it's up to Claire where we go. And I did say I'm very interested to see where that goes next. Episode 3, though, went down a serious route, and I don't think it did it any justice. And I know it's rough to say, and maybe a lot of you out there really, really like the show for going here. Maybe the source material went here. But I will say that episode 3 put a bad taste in my mouth because, I was like, it's like, I was at a high, okay? I was at a high for this show. Based on everything it's given me, I was like, oh, I'm like singing the praise, like this shit is funny and like this is crazy. And, and then it went down a serious route. And not every show can make that pivot. And in some senses, in my heart of hearts, I don't think that this context was needed. Like the real feelings of Ray and her dealing with, is she gay? Is she not gay? Like the seriousness of this, like really put a damper on my experience. Like I'm okay with girls love, boys love, whatever. But they don't need to dive, like when the show is a comedy, they don't need to dive into that serious note of like the mental behind it. Unless the show is more of a serious show, all they do is they put they make a, like they have a rain on my parade kind of thing. Like the things that I was enjoying about the show, I feel like it dampers them. And again, don't think that I'm insensitive to any of the topic. I'm not. I do think that, being gay in Japan, from what I've seen on TikTok, is like, that's freaking ass hard, and I think that society there, like in the West here, be whatever you want, pretty much is kind of how it goes. And no one really judges you for it, right? Like, love who you want, love how you want, whatever. Like nobody judges you for that. I think in Japan, I think they're getting there, and I think that maybe in a decade, I think that maybe 2 decades, that'll be a lot different. But I think that it's still a struggle bus over there, just based on how that culture is, right? And then if you translate that into what she dealt with in Japan, but then now you transfer her into this more kind of fantasy setting that it's futuristic in a way, but at the same time, it's really based off like a long time ago, right? Like like this setting that's more medieval type thing, but then has it has technology. It's like this weird mishmash fantasy world. She's dealing with the similar struggles that being this certain way isn't commonality here either. And then you put the nobles. You have this like the commoner and noble. You put this other title on it. You have to imagine it's very difficult to navigate that and being true to yourself. Okay, so I don't de-acknowledge any of that, and I don't even mind that a show or a topic or a story goes that route. I just don't think this is the story that I wanted to see it in. And, if they make her mental issues or struggles be a reoccurring thing in this show, it's going to put a damper and, like I said, a rain on my parade, where all I wanted to see was Rei unabashedly skirt chasing. And maybe there's a little seriousness there at times with, romance, the romance scale on how accepted or unaccepted she is based on that. Like, really all I wanted from this show was her to skirt chase Claire completely and just like off the walls, and then her have to deal with the princess chasing after her skirt kind of thing, And maybe she helps her, Claire, like this episode, she helped the Claire maybe, realize that she really likes one of these princes quite a lot. Like maybe moments like that. And then just like funny scenarios and stuff. Like that's all I wanted from this show, with then putting us down a route of Claire being open to Rei, and maybe we do get a storyline of them being together. Or we get the opposite, and it's just like Claire's just cool with Rei being around, and Rei's cool with that. And, maybe she does find love with a different girl or a different man or whatever, right? Something like that happens. But really, the focus is just off the wall, batshit crazy, fun, and comedy. So, anyways, that's where I'm at right now. It's like I didn't enjoy the episode because I didn't laugh this episode. And the thing that separated this show for me this season was, I'm telling you, episode 1 and 2, I was losing it at so many different moments in the episodes. Like, they were just effing funny. And this episode, there wasn't really anything funny. And that's a problem to me. So I don't mind topics like this being like appropriately fitting in. They don't really fit to me personally though, and I might be an asshole, but like they don't fit into what this show's trying to accomplish, or at least what I thought it was trying to accomplish. So that's how I'm feeling, and it kind of sucks to say. So, overall, I thought this was one of the best shows of the season. Episode 3 went like, well, I don't know. Like, it's like, I don't know, So, I don't know. That's how I'm feeling right now. And I will acknowledge maybe a lot of you feel a different way. Maybe a lot of you are like, oh, I love that they did this. And that's cool. I just ain't feeling it. I just wanted to have this fun show. And then they pivot to serious and like, oh, fuck. So anyway, that's how I feel. Maybe episode 4 will go back to that thing. But like the fact that they went here means that the author or director or series teller or whatever you want to call them, the mangaka, that this is a topic sensitive to them that they want to insert into their story, which is fine. I just don't like it. So anyways, let me know what you guys thought. I'm going to be very interested. I'm going to be in the comments. I'm be waiting just like that. Just waiting to see what y'all put in the comments. But all right, my friends, I'm going to see you guys for episode 4. And of course, a ton of other anime throughout the season. All right. Deuces.